today I'm going to make a roasted tomato and pepper soup. I've got some tomatoes here that they're absolutely fine, but they're just kind of starting to go in a little bit of the soft side for me. So I am going to roast them in the oven with some peppers to make them nice and sweet. I've got a red onion, but you can use a red or white onion, and a little bulb of garlic, or you could use about 4 cloves. I've also got some basil here which we're going to use. So the first thing you need to do is just get your oven on to preheat the oven. Just put it up really high just now, just to get the temperature up. So I know not everybody has a hand blender or a food processor, so I'm just going to cut the vegetables up into the size that they're going to be in the soup. If you want to blend it after that, then it's up to you, but I'm going to make it quite a chunky soup, so it's not like a blended tomato soup. Okay, so just taking all the green stalks off. And tomatoes will shrink when you roast them, so I think in half is enough. And we have them so they're all sitting on their bums. And just spread them out on a baking tray. Then if we just peel the garlic, if you're using cloves, because not a lot of people have these kind of garlic, that is the whole bulb, so if you're using cloves, the best thing to do is just cut the end off, so just where like the root of the garlic would be, and then just get the palm of your hand and just crush it, so you've still got all the outer part on it, and then just put them in. When it then roasts, and when you take it out, you can just pop the garlic out of its sort of little sheath. Okay, so I'm just going to peel it completely because it's a whole bulb, and cut it into quarters, and then just spread that about. Okay, so I've got a long pointy pepper here, doesn't matter what shape you have, and just cut it into the size of bite-size pieces that you want it to be. Okay, so I'd say about little centimetres. Past the seeds. Another thing that I did, I've been doing with peppers, is that if you have the seeds here, take them all off and put them in a bowl. So here, you see I've got loads of dried pepper seeds, and I'm going to plant those to grow pepper plants. And I've already started some which are, they've started already. Economising. Food's becoming so expensive just now. Okay, and I'll use another pepper. So I want the soup to have quite a peppery taste to it. Okay, just make sure it's quite evenly spread. Nice and chunky. Nice winter soup. The weather here is just turned today and just made me feel in the mood for getting some nice warm soup made. Okay, so that's peppers, a red onion or just a white onion, whatever. Enough. Okay, again I'll make this about the same size as the peppers. That's what we'll go for today. See how it turns out. Try and break them up a bit. Stingy. Oh wow, that's stingy. Okay, so we're going to sprinkle that with sea salt. Make sure it's all even. Pepper, so grind the black pepper. This is already ground black pepper. Either rapeseed oil or olive oil. Okay, not loads and loads. You don't want it to be swimming in oil, just enough to coat it. And it'll not be coating everything straight away, but we'll give it a shake once it started to heat up and get a little bit runnier. And I'm also going to put a little bit of lemon juice. And then I'm going to also put a little bit of sugar on top. I'm going to use some palm sugar that I have, but just normal sugar is fine. Palm sugar is just a bit healthier. So we're not using an awful lot. We don't want it to be really sweet, actually. Excuse my fingers. So kind of just the same amount as the salt, so 2 pinches. And hopefully that will bring out the sweetness in the tomatoes. Okay, get that in the oven. Okay, so while that is roasting away, I'm going to do a grilled salmon with asparagus and pak choy. So not really much of a recipe, it's just, you're really just heating things up. But just to utilise your time while you're in the kitchen and something else is cooking, you don't have to eat it all at once. So cooking the soup just now, and I'll be eating the salmon first, and I'll leave the soup to eat it another time. Okay, so just need to turn on your grill. Okay, just a medium heat. Bag of pak choy. You normally come in a pack like that with 2 in it, so we'll just use one of them. Just separate it all. Now we're going to steam the pak choy. So I've got one of these are great, cheap. If you don't have one of these, you could just, you could either just put a little bit of water in the bottom of a pot and just steam it in there. You just have, it's just that it's going to be a lot wetter because it's directly onto the water. Or if you've got an electric steamer, that's fine, use that. Okay, so it just goes in the bottom of the pot. You also get bamboo steamers, very good. They just sit on the top of your pot. All really cheap, worth investing in. Okay. Just set that on top of your hob, and that'll need a lid. Okay, don't turn it on yet, just have it sit in there. And then just a little salmon fillet that's going to sit in the grill. Put the skin side up first. And then some asparagus. Just chop the tough ends off of those. Alright, I'm just going to stick them in a bowl. And a little bit of oil, some olive oil in a bowl, a little ramekin. With a little bit of salt and pepper. We mix about. Okay, then just coating the asparagus so that you're not drowning it in oil. It's not essential to do this. It goes quite matte if you cook it normally, if you grill it normally. You can also steam it, but this is just something to give it a little bit of flavour all over it. So when you're actually eating it, you won't need to season it. So you shall have some leftover oil. Stick that in the fridge and you can use it another time. Okay, so we're just going to set the asparagus alongside the salmon on the grill. And then stick the pak choy on as well. So you're going to put that up to the highest heat so that the water comes to the boil, and then we'll turn it down. And we want the the grill to be on a medium heat. Okay, so we'll give our tomatoes a little check just now. Looking nice. And we can just give it all a mix about now. So all that oil you put on, coated over everything. We're keeping this up on a high heat. So about gas mark 7. Okay, when the tomatoes come out, we're going to put them into a pot with stock and basil leaves. So we can get these ready. So just roughly cut the basil. Okay, so that's ready to go. You need a little bit of tomato puree and a veggie stock. The jelly stalks are the best. I don't buy any of the dried ones anymore. So that's ready to go. Give asparagus a little turnabout. Up. Okay, now the salmon is now all crusty on top. The asparagus is starting to turn colour a little bit browner, so just keep turning the asparagus. So make sure it doesn't get too cooked all on one side. And now we'll take the skin off of the salmon. And just use some tongs. Actually just lift away in one piece. And then turn the salmon over to cook the other side because it's well enough cooked through on that side. Okay, back under again. Won't be long now. Pak choy is almost done. That is done. Okay, so I'll just turn that off. Let a little bit of the steam come out, just put the lid to the side a little bit. Just going to turn the salmon down a little bit. almost there with the tomatoes and the peppers. That pie. Okay, so that's the salmon just about done. So I'll just get the pak choy on the plate. I'm just going to hang on to that water because we can always use that in the stock for the tomato soup. Now I'm going to just take a little bit of a couple of tomatoes just to put a bit of colour on there and liven it up a little bit. Okay, just keep roasting that. Okay, so like I said, it's not really cooking. You're just grilling and steaming, a little bit of roasting, but just a nice, healthy lunch or dinner. Okay, I'm going to use the stock that the pak choy was in because I might as well use it and not throw it away. Also going to add, and this is not compulsory, essential, about half a teaspoon of cumin. Doesn't matter if you don't have it. And half a teaspoon of paprika. Another little sprinkling of pepper, tiny little bit of salt, a squeeze of tomato puree, like about a tablespoon. Just give that a little mix up. Add in your vegetable stock. And a bit more water. So just about a cup more water just at the moment. Just will dissolve that stock down. Okay, I'll get those veggies out now. some of them are starting to just change colour a bit. You could have left them in a little bit longer, but we'll go for it like that. Just lift out the garlic. And so if you have the cloves, just pop them out. They should just slide out easily. And then we'll add this in here. Splash more water. And then we'll chop the garlic up. A wee crush. Stick it back in. Just that nobody's getting a big full clove. And another thing you can do with this is if you didn't add so much water and then blend it up, be a nice just a tomato sauce to have on pasta or rice. Stick the basil in. Okay, so this is all really quite fresh. I didn't bake everything, didn't roast it until it was like really mushy. I'm going to not cook it for too long now so the basil still stays really nice and green. It's really chunky, hearty. That's lovely, just like that. Okay, so there we have it. Delicious. Hope you enjoy.